3, 2, 1, fire.
This right here marked the end of the Penn State Beaver Stadium. In its place, a shining, modern and more luxurious venue will be born out of the ashes, literally. But as these demolitions and implosions were happening, some members of Penn State's Board of Trustees pointed out that the college might not have enough money to pay for the massive renovation. Budget problems and not enough donations could leave Beaver Stadium forever incomplete. So let's discuss it in today's episode of Built Up. Now, Penn State University has embarked on a comprehensive $700 million renovation of Beaver Stadium, aiming to modernize the facility and enhance the fan experience. The project commenced in early January 2025 with the demolition of the iconic press box on the venue's west side. On January the 4th, 2025, Penn State conducted the controlled demolition of the arena's press box, which had stood for over 6 decades. Originally built in 1959 and later expanded in 1980, the press box had become outdated compared to modern stadium standards. To clear the way for renovations, construction crews used a carefully planned controlled implosion to bring down the structure in a matter of seconds. The demolition was an emotional event for many Penn State fans and alumni, as the press box had been a staple of game day broadcasts and media coverage for generations. Following the implosion, crews began a 6-week process to clear debris and prepare the site for upcoming construction. Crews are working around the clock to prepare the site for the upcoming phases of the renovation, with the goal of completing the project before the 2027 football season. This phase involves removing concrete and steel remains, stabilizing the area, and laying the groundwork for new structural additions. The renovation plans include replacing the west side's current bleacher seats and press box with new club seats, suites, and a state-of-the-art press and broadcast facility. Additionally, there'll be significant improvements to ground-level amenities such as expanded restrooms, enhanced concession stands, wider concourses, and the addition of a welcome center with event space. Now, funding for this extensive project was approved by Penn State's Board of Trustees in May 2024. The renovation is financed entirely by intercollegiate athletics, utilizing university-backed debt to be repaid through the athletic department's revenues and donations. Importantly, no tuition or state education funds are being used for this project. These renovations are designed to ensure Beaver Stadium remains a premier venue for college football, providing modern amenities and an enhanced experience for fans, athletes, and the broader Penn State community. Now, before we move on to the next section, please don't forget to subscribe if you like the video so far. If you've ever been to Beaver Stadium, you know it's more than just a football stadium. It's an experience. Beaver Stadium, home to Penn State football since 1960, is one of the largest and most historic college football stadiums in the country, with a seating capacity of over 106,000. These upgrades will ensure that the sports complex remains a top-tier venue for decades to come, improving fan experience while keeping Penn State football competitive in the ever-evolving landscape of college athletics. That being said, with the demolition of this facility, a major chunk of US football history was erased in seconds. Beaver Stadium wasn't always the massive powerhouse it is today. It actually started as New Beaver Field back in 1909, holding just 30,000 fans. In 1960, Penn State literally moved and expanded it, and from there it kept growing, eventually becoming one of the biggest sports complexes in the world. Today, it holds 106,572 fans, making it the second largest in the US and the fourth largest in the world. If you've never seen a Penn State whiteout, you're missing out on one of the most legendary traditions in college football. Imagine a sea of over 100,000 people, all in white, screaming at the top of their lungs. It's pure chaos in the best way possible. Even some of the toughest teams admit it's one of the hardest places to play. The 2005 whiteout against Ohio State, absolute madness. Beaver Stadium isn't just about football, it's a huge part of Penn State culture. Game weekends bring hundreds of thousands of visitors to State College, giving local businesses a major boost. It's also a place where generations of Penn Staters, students, alumni, and fans come together to celebrate their team. Over the years, the facility has seen some legendary games, from Penn State's 1982 National Championship season to Joe Paterno's 400th win. The history here is incredible. And who could forget the 2016 upset over Ohio State, when a blocked field goal sent the crowd into absolute chaos? Of course, the new venue seeks to take the best out of the old and make it shine through the new. The first expansion is actually the expanded concourses. If you've ever tried to fight through the crowds at halftime, you know how frustrating it can be. The old concourses were way too narrow, which meant bottlenecks everywhere. Right now, the stadium is widening key concourses, especially around gates A and E, so people can actually move without feeling like they're in a human traffic jam. That means less shoving, less waiting, and more time enjoying the game. Let's be honest, missing a big play because you were stuck waiting in line for a restroom is brutal. Beaver Stadium had nowhere near enough facilities for a crowd of 100,000 plus, but in the new facility, there'll be more restrooms spread out all across. It will feature upgraded modern facilities because no one wants to deal with old, overcrowded bathrooms. But what about when you leave your seat to grab a hot dog and miss an entire drive because the line is ridiculous? Yeah, Penn State is fixing that too. Now there'll be more concession stands so the lines move quicker. New grab-and-go food spots because sometimes you just want to grab a snack without waiting forever. And finally, fans will get better food options. On top of all that, they'll be adding escalators. If you've ever had to hike up ramps or stairs to get to your seat, you know it can be a workout. Escalators at gates A and E make it easier to move between levels. This translates to better accessibility for fans with mobility challenges, so everyone can enjoy the game comfortably. Finally, Penn State will feel like a sports complex and not an obstacle course. But if you ask me, the best of all these features has to be the Wi-Fi, the one that actually works. If you ever try to post a whiteout pic or check scores, good luck. The old Wi-Fi and cell service were awful. But now there are brand new wireless access points so you can actually stay connected. They'll also include better cell service so you're not stuck in an internet dead zone. This means no more "can you hear me now" moments inside Beaver Stadium. But when you boil it all down, it comes down to money. So here's a financing breakdown. The renovation of Penn State's Beaver Stadium, which is set to cost around $700 million, is being funded primarily through private donations and athletics revenue, meaning no tuition or academic funds will be used. A lot of the money is coming from generous contributions by alumni and donors who want to see the venue updated. For example, Matten and Schuyler pledged $5 million in January 2025, while Playfly Sports also contributed $5 million in September 2024. The Lubert family made a major donation of $10 million around the same time, and there's even an anonymous donor who gave $1 million. By the end of 2024, more than $66 million had already been raised, with Penn State continuing to seek additional contributions. In terms of how the rest of the project is being funded, Penn State is relying on intercollegiate athletics to cover the remaining costs. This includes generating revenue from things like increased ticket sales, especially with the addition of premium seating, as well as corporate sponsorships and partnerships. They've also got a long-term financing plan to help spread out the costs over time, so they're not taking a huge hit all at once. Some members of Penn State's Board of Trustees have raised concerns about the financial risk involved, especially considering the university's existing budget challenges. But overall, the administration feels confident that this renovation will be a solid investment, both for the future of the facility and for enhancing the fan experience. It's all about making sure Beaver Stadium stays one of the best places to watch college football now and for years to come. Now, do you think this sports complex will be an improvement upon the old, or do you think they should have kept the iconic Beaver Stadium? Well, let us know in the comments down below. Now here's another video mega project enthusiasts enjoyed watching. Bye for now.